During the third millennia, in a strange place known as the United States of America, a war was brewing. Brainwashed Marxist idiots in colleges across the nation clashed with equally brainwashed, anime-obsessed neo-Nazis. Starbucks windows were shattered, Dodge Challengers were totaled, and Muslims realized that rental vans were cheaper than plane tickets. Skinny, anemic millennials from coast to coast were hospitalized with life-changing injuries such as sprains and first-degree burns. And the heroic knights of 4chan rose up to defeat Shia LaBeouf and drive the evil villain into a descent towards a madness the likes from which he would never recover. As the enemies of freedom destroy the cities that raised them, as America begins to resemble an Iron Maiden album come to life, two heroes have risen up to fight against the culture of utter madness and restore sanity the only way they know how, by refusing to take any of it seriously. Mersh.
And I said, hey, oi, let's chop your penis off. Oi, can I have me penis back? Why do you have dreadlocks, you white oppressor?
Royce Lopez.
Always be aborting. A, always, B, aborting. Always be aborting.
Breaking news.
Breaking news,
You're
guys.
hearing it only on our show first. Apparently Donald Trump has worked out a deal. He will get the wall. Unfortunately, it's going to be a rock climbing wall.
Oh, no! The other side's going to be a slide. You climb the wall up and you just
lands into a nice, clean, chlorinated pool. And then you immediately get a welfare check. Fucking A.
Oh, shit. He was a boy, he went to girl, now he wants to be a boy again.
Oh, God, just stay a girl if you're going to be this indecisive.
I think Caitlyn Jenner's a handsome woman with a great penis. Look, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with trannies. I just don't want to put that one's cock in my mouth.
Bound forever by their mutual love of smoking marijuana, Simpsons references and affection towards Alex Jones, these two men have joined forces to bring you uncut news and opinions directly from the belly of the beast. Saving Western civilization one childish dick joke at a time, here they are, your new heroes of the Imperium, Mersh and Royce Lopez.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard. It's Tuesday. We are Mike Sheely and Royce Lopez, and this is Revenge of the Cis, the home of the media insurgency. Blowing up like the streets of Austin, son.
Jesus.
Too soon?
It's bad.
Be sure, of course, as always, share this stream right now wherever you can. Like, subscribe, rate us 5 stars on iTunes and Facebook. RevengeOfTheCis.com, RevengeOfTheCis.com. The only place you need to remember, today we'll be discussing the Count Dankula hate speech verdict. Dave Goss will be joining us in the second hour. We can talk about the tribulations of Kyle Chapman. And, yeah, I guess there's a lot going on.
So much.
Very fast news cycles going on.
So much.
Because we, always before the show, Royce and I, the last thing we say before we go live is, hey, what are we kicking this off with?
Yeah, what are we going to do first?
Every single day.
Yeah.
Today we're like, today was one of those weird days where you're like, we got a couple of front runners. Almost every day, it's like, oh yeah, we're going to start off with this, right? Mm-hmm. Today we were like, geez, bombings and people getting shot. It's happening.
Well, we should
Fucking
think
kid from Parkland's brother got arrested. Jesus.
people are going to jail for making their dogs do Nazi salutes. Well, first we have to thank our new patron, though.
We do have to not only thank, but in fact, Hank, our new patron. Of course, I don't know if he wants us to say his real name, but you may see him in our YouTube comments. He goes by the name of A. Pinochet,
yes.
Which I've never heard before. I've never heard that name before.
That's a new one. So we want to say thank you for your service.
Fear no danger, show no labor, let the ride pop. There were two wars in Dixie. Set them back, your thirst defiance, set upon the curse of lies and wars. Two wars in Dixie. Against the flag of Dixie. Hoo-wah, hoo-wah. Dixie's land, we take our stand to live and die for Dixie. To arms, and conquer peace for Dixie. To arms, and conquer
Thank you for your service.
That's right. Thank you for your service, Augusto Pinochet. And yeah, I got to say this. Hank you update. Hank you. We have had a Hank you sighting.
He's back on Facebook.
He is back on Facebook.
Yes.
So I'm working, I'm working on it.
Yeah.
See, he hates both of us. So Royce and I have to sort of approach him with this bad cop, slightly less bad cop
Correct.
approach.
Yes. So, hopefully we could get him on.
God willing.
I guess we can start in Maryland, right?
Yeah, something shockingly, shooting happened in Maryland.
Well, this is the latest. It's from police department there.
Good morning. What we know thus far is that Great Mills High School began its school day this morning at 7:45 a.m. like many other days, except for on this day, a male student produced a handgun and fired around, wounding a female student and another male student in a hallway of Great Mills High School just before classes begun. The victims of the shooting were transported by EMS, and the one male student went to MedStar St. Mary's Hospital, is in stable condition. The female student was transported to shock trauma facility, is in critical condition, and I am told that at 10:41 a.m. this morning, the shooter was confirmed deceased at Charles Regional Medical Center in La Plata.
So the shooter, at least, is dead.
I didn't like where that was going
Yeah.
because he was like, she's in the shock trauma unit, and I was just informed right now, and I'm like, oh boy, what? Oh, the shooter's dead. Yeah, who gives a shit.
When the shooting took place, our school resource officer, who was stationed inside the school, was alerted to the event and the shots being fired. He pursued the shooter, engaged the shooter, during which that engagement he fired a round at the shooter. Simultaneously, the shooter fired a round as well. So in the hours to come, in the days to come, through detailed investigation, we will be able to determine if our school resource officer's round struck the shooter. The school resource officer is uninjured and was not struck by any firearm projectile.
And look at that. He did his fucking job. Look at that, huh? 2 kids hurt, nobody dead, because the shooter's dead. Because a guy in charged with protecting children
Right.
did his fucking job. Weird.
Isn't that crazy?
So weird. That kid had a
Crazy.
gun, too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. But, the guy did his fucking job. Scott Peterson.
So when you say you don't want armed people, yeah, well, this is what happens.
Scott Israel, Scott Peterson, literally every person named Scott except Cool Scott, who's our patron.
We like Cool Scott.
Everyone else,
Yeah.
hell yeah.
So, yeah, the resource officer did his job.
Did his fucking job.
Took him out before anybody else could get hurt.
And one shot.
One
Ooh,
shot.
boy, I want to meet that gentleman. And I want to
I'm sure
buy him.
more will come out, but
I would like to buy him a shot of Jameson
Yeah.
on me. Because that man. Because honestly, everybody talks all that good shit. I go
Right.
target practicing all the time. I'll tell you what, I'll take him out one shot from across the parking lot. No, you won't, stupid. If you're really, I've shot guns. I'm all right with a gun. I tell you what, if I had a fully loaded weapon and somebody else did, and they were chasing other people with a gun, I'll bet you I could take them out if I was close enough. But this hero shit where you're like, I'll take them out one shot. One shot is fucking impressive. That's really good. They said he didn't hit him with one shot. He fired a shot, they said, and killed him.
I'm trying to see.
That's pretty fucking awesome. So we thank you, sir, for protecting those kids. And once again, unlike Scott
It happened
Peterson,
in the art
Sorry.
hallway.
doing your job.
Fucking, I was going to CNN because there were some updates. I was trying to find the resource officer. I think I got him.
That guy, man.
Believe this is him.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like a guy who can probably.
The incident began at 7:55 a.m. School resource officer Brian Gaskill responded to the scene in less than a minute. The sheriff said Gaskill fired a round at the shooter, and the shooter fired a round simultaneously. Rollins was later pronounced dead. Gaskill was unharmed. The 16-year-old female student is in critical condition with life-threatening injuries. The 14-year-old male student was shot and is in stable condition. Cameron said he was not sure if Gaskill's bullet hit the suspect, but praised the officers. Well, who else? It had to have been him.
Well, maybe the kid shot himself.
True.
Maybe they're saying that the kid knew. Maybe he knew he was surrounded. He shot himself. But I don't know.
No, because they said they fired simultaneously. The officer said earlier.
So he probably got him.
The incident in the 17th school in the United States, January 1st. This is what we train for. This is what we prepare for, and this is why we pray we never have to do. On this day, we realize our worst nightmare. This, by the way,
You know how many free drinks this guy's getting right now? Seriously. You know how many free drinks this guy's getting for the
Yep.
next few weeks? He just goes out and they're going to be like, you're the guy with the... Hey, Sammy, get him something. Doesn't matter, whatever.
whatever he wants. Christ, man.
I don't really drink. Try the cheesecake here. Get this guy something.
Mar-
Sweetheart, go suck his dick.
Maryland making fucking Florida look like fucking clown shoes.
I don't get it either because we had this talk before on the show. I always thought Florida, I always had respect for Florida sheriffs because this is one of those heavily armed, very sort of, I don't know, independent type places to live compared to the rest of the country. And it's, it has like an old Westy kind of vibe to this weird peninsula. So I always thought they dealt with a lot more shit, but I guess all those videos of like cops picking up gators and, shooting, swatting houses and stuff like hardcore guys, it's just propaganda.
Yeah, apparently the shooter had a 9mm. So, wasn't an assault rifle. But that's how. But it doesn't matter. The left. That's how the left's going to spin it. Be like, see, since it was just a handgun, only 2 people were hurt. That's how it's going to be spun. Watch. Mark my words. This is still going to be spun into gun control one way or the other.
Ain't going to be spun into shit. I guarantee you this is going to get buried.
You think so?
You hear about this story. Yeah, there's no glamorous camera ready kids to come out and talk about gun control. There's no dead. There's no, it's not juicy enough for them.
Right.
It's not juicy enough for these fucking vultures.
So you saying that when Dana Loesch said that they love school shootings because of ratings, maybe she might have been right a little bit?
First of all, it's Dana Loesch, according to Ben Shapiro.
Oh, that's right.
So we'll call her that.
Okay, we'll call her that.
Yeah, she's sexy, man.
She's so hot.
I like me some Dana Loesch.
She's so hot.
Now I'm saying it wrong. Thanks, Ben Shapiro. I like me some Dana Loesch.
Believe it or not, we have to go back to Austin, Texas for our next story.
San Antonio, I think.
Oh, San Antonio.
Ba-da-da-da-da-bam-bam-bam. I wanted to do the old one.
Okay.
On that San Antonio FedEx facility that had an explosion this morning. Now we are getting word from the San Antonio Police Department that they are saying another package was found at that same facility that did not detonate. This is the Shirts facility. It's outside of San Antonio. This is coming in from the
This guy's going full force here.
Yeah. He's not stopping.
police chief there, Bill McManus, saying the latest one was this morning. As far as the one that did explode March 20th up in Shirts at 9900 Durr Lane, we had a package explode in that facility. Female worker was knocked off her feet, suffered concussion. There was one other package that we believe was also loaded with explosive device that they are working on right now. And to add to that, there was the other package that was discovered in Austin this morning as well that did not set off, but that was...
The reason she's talking like that and saying is, and you could always tell the difference when they're reading off a prompter or when there's a producer in their ear talking and they're trying to repeat it. That's what's happening right there. There's a producer in your ear and she's trying to repeat what he's saying.
Obviously, the hazmat team was sent in there as well. So this is the latest information. Another package was found that did not detonate at that Shirts facility. This story continues, and there is currently a manhunt underway. The feds are on the ground there. We'll continue to update.
So we think this guy, like, all right, because he personally delivered some of these packages in Austin, right? if this is one guy. Now at this point,
You don't know.
now, yeah, you have to wonder if this is a group of people or something. I don't know if this is going to turn out to be. I don't know what this is, man.
We could all agree this is a white guy, though. This is a white guy crime, right? It seems like a white guy thing.
If I will say this, you are very much justified in feeling like this is a white guy crime. I
Yeah.
feel that way too. I don't know if this is a white guy this time.
Okay.
Just given the area and the demographics, and you have cartels, you've got there's other things going on down there that have nothing to do with, white nationalism, or anything like that. Could be crazy white guy, but it's bizarre. Whoever it is, they're nuts because there's been no. I haven't seen any there's no note yet.
There's no motive.
statement, There's no narcissism to it yet. He's just blowing people up. But does this mean now he lives closer to San Antonio?
Well, they're not that far away. I mean, it's, you could drive to it. The guy could have driven there.
You're still talking about two cities and a wide swath. What I'm saying is, does he live closer to the...
I don't
trying
know.
to think. Do you think he maybe lives closer to the San Antonio side of things than Austin? And that maybe he's been driving out to Austin and leaving these bombs because it's not in his backyard. And I think maybe he's bombing his backyard. I don't know.
We need some sort of board with pins in it and strings connected,
That sounds like a whole thing, and I'm just not... I don't have the energy
It's not that
for it.
important.
Yeah, I don't have the energy for it.
By the way, is his intent to kill people? Because most of his bombs haven't killed people. They've hurt people, don't get me wrong.
He's for sure he wants to kill people. Because there's no... Bombs to hurt people is a weird approach. Because you're probably very likely to kill somebody. Yeah. He's trying to kill, and I think he's just not... I don't even think he's bad at it. I think he's just had some bad luck so far.
Right.
So, luckily that he's had bad luck, but, he still killed two people, so... But, yeah, he's not hurting or maybe... He's certainly no fucking... he's certainly not an Iraqi because they're experts at that shit.
And they take credit though. That's the other thing. That's why I don't think it's an ISIS thing or anything like that because they tend to take credit. You know what I mean?
It's like a Durka jihad.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I didn't even name them. I'm just thinking about other angles because of that area and the demographics. Because this could also be like one of the cartels trying to send a message about the wall. It could be, It could be some kind of white nationalist crazy person. It could be any number of things. Mm-hmm. But the lack of any kind of communication kind of sucks. I like when these, at least when these guys get to their fucking point.
Yeah.
Don't drag this out for 30 years like Kaczynski.
So more news now out of Parkland.
Oh, great.
And this time,
it always puts me in
it's
good
the
mood.
shooter's brother. So...
New details on the arrest of Nicholas Cruz's brother. Zachary Cruz was arrested yesterday afternoon when investigators say he trespassed onto the campus of Marjorie Stoneman Douglas Senior High School in Parkland. CBS 4's Maribel Rodriguez is live at the Broward County Jail with more for us. Maribel.
Well, Elliot, according to the police report, Zachary Cruz told deputies he entered the school to reflect on the shooting and to soak it in. Well, this happened yesterday, just before 5 o'clock yesterday afternoon, and today he is in the same jail as his brother. 18-year-old Zachary Cruz, the brother of the confessed Marjorie Stoneman Douglas shooter, has been arrested for trespassing on the same school where his 19-year-old brother Nicholas Cruz is accused of murdering 17 people and wounding 17 others with an assault rifle on February 14th. The arrest report says Zachary Cruz was caught skateboarding on campus at about 4:50 Monday afternoon. And it appears this is not the first time. He has been warned about trespassing on campus.
What Instagram filters does Broward County use on their mugshots? Because
Yeah.
this kid always looked like he was
Lighter?
more light-skinned.
No, he's not.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
And during his encounter with a BSO deputy on Monday, he made mention of his brother's deadly shooting. The report says Cruz told deputies he unlawfully entered the school property to reflect on the school shooting and soak it in. Earlier this month, CNN reported that after the shooting, Zachary said he regretted bullying his brother and thought he might have been able to prevent the school shooting. Last week, cameras captured Zachary Cruz in a courtroom during a hearing for his brother. Now, just 5 days later, he is locked up in the same jail building as his older brother. BSO says Zachary committed the crime of trespassing on school grounds after prior warnings by school officials to refrain from entering the school campus, and that Zachary surpassed all locked doors and gates and proceeded to ride his skateboard through school grounds.
We know. And then they're showing a video of him skateboarding.
Look, I believe him.
Yeah.
I believe the kid. If I were his age, he's a fucking idiot. He's very stupid, and he shouldn't have done that. And he should have known that there was going to be an overreaction to it. That being said,
yeah,
I do believe that he went there and he's just trying. He's a kid. He's all fucked up. He just wants to take a moment where it happened and sink it in, as he said. But he's an idiot. But they're really gonna fucking bring the hammer down on this kid, because now me and Royce were talking about it off the air. Now this whole thing is gonna be like, look how fucking tough we are on these things, and we protect our community. Now they're gonna crack all kinds of heads that don't need to be cracked.
Trespassing only carries a $25 bond.
I know a dude who's in Broward County Jail. Mm-hmm. We could reach out to him.
Sure.
I don't think he's in there for murder and he's facing the death penalty.
Jesus.
But I could, maybe just throw some money in his commissary and be like, hey, John, listen, sorry about your fucking impending death penalty thing, but this kid Zachary Cruz, could you get a fucking quote from him for us, bud?
Trespassing is a misdemeanor that usually carries $25 bond, but Murphy asked for the district attorney asked for $750,000 bond. So they agreed somewhere in the middle at $500,000.
That's in the middle. Whatever. That's a compromise.
And the defense attorney said this is clearly because of who his brother is, which again, it's not really. It's true. Like, just because your brother does something doesn't mean that the rules change for you. He didn't have any weapons on him or anything. He had a skateboard. I mean, look. He's a kid.
He's very stupid.
No one's not saying yeah.
But, you can't make up for your own shortcomings. I'm looking at you, Broward County, by torturing another kid. Because now he's going to be all fucked up.
Yeah, this
kid's already fucked up. He's carrying a lot of guilt.
Well, he's out of jail, though. He's out of jail.
He posted bond?
Apparently.
Where do these guys getting their money?
Brother of Parkland Shooter spends night in jail. That means he's out.
No, but then you said they raised.
They did. But look, it's post bond. Listen what this video is.
This Instagram video appears to show Zachary Cruz on his skateboard showing off some tricks. It's not clear from the arrest report how Zachary, who shares a biological mother with Nicholas but different fathers, surpassed school security, how long he was on campus, and whether he was with anyone at the time. And we are told that Zachary Cruz did post bond early this morning, just $25, a small bond.
He did, and then after he left, which is weird, they raised it. Very odd, right?
That's very weird.
With a misdemeanor, however, he does have a hold and will be appearing before a judge at 1 o'clock this afternoon.
And
that's probably when they did it.
Bro.
Listen, I understand you guys fucked up. I understand you guys fucked up, Broward. I get it. You guys fucked up. But it's like one of those things when you do something horrible.
Yeah.
It's like it doesn't matter what you do afterwards.
You got fucking Peterson got his fucking retirement package, and he just left, and now he's riding around on his golf course on his golf cart. And you got that fucking idiot Israel. He didn't resign. His fucking dumb face is still on cars. And this poor kid who didn't even hurt anybody. Do you understand if I got $500,000 bond for breaking into every school that I broke into and skateboarded in at night in high school, I would be serving 3 consecutive life sentences. There's no We did that. Me and my buddy Steve and Dan and a couple guys, we did that almost every night. We went out and broke into school property because it's cooler to skateboard on because it's made for skateboarding on.
Western Echo says, I have a solution. Let's ban all skateboards.
I don't think
I'm in.
that's a solution.
I'm in.
Can we stop banning everything?
Nope.
I think we need more skateboards. We need more guns. We need more drugs in the streets.
We need more people on skateboards with guns. Just to be twice as safe.
We need concentrated fentanyl being sold in every street corner.
I don't know about that.
We need everybody needs to have an AR-15 who's older than 12. Game of Thrones style.
Older than 12?
Yeah. Bear Island style from Game of Thrones.
I think you're going a little too far in the opposite direction.
Yeah. Is Jon Snow going too far in his quest to fight the White Walkers? I think not.
Some would say maybe. A little bit too far.
Well, the banging is relative
Yeah,
parts.
he's banging his relative.
Going kind of far.
Yeah.
But before everything up to that point.
Look, I'm the biggest Second Amendment guy too, but I don't think arming every 12-year-old is the answer.
So you're not a Second Amendment guy. Like, it's one of these things, man. Like, you either
what?
you either are or you aren't.
What?
And it's you can't have your things halfway. You can't have half freedom of speech.
I'm for the right of it, but I don't think Second Amendment doesn't mean you have to arm everybody.
So we'll also take freedom of speech away from children. Right?
No, we don't take away freedom of speech from children. My point is
We'll also take the right to vote away from children. Is that what you're saying?
I agree with that. I mean, children shouldn't vote.
You're a madman. You're a totalitarian fucking fascist.
Speaking of,
in place,
Donald Trump has added the death penalty in his new proposal.
He's a fucking idiot.
For drug traffickers.
just like Derry, New Hampshire, they're hungry for a new plan with overdoses every 2 or 3 days, and most deaths here linked to the lethal drug fentanyl.
Like you said.
Chief Ed Garone has had enough.
I think those people that sell fentanyl, I mean, it's akin to opening a dance room, ballroom floor and firing a weapon into.
No, it's not.
Listen, first of all.
No, it's not.
First of all, leave Captain God tier analogy alone.
He looks like the sheriff from Freakazoid. Listen, don't get me wrong.
Listen, selling marijuana to people, it's like locking a warehouse up with chains and then locking people inside and setting it on fire.
It's nothing. Listen, first off, I'm already on the fence about the fucking death penalty to fucking begin with. Not because I don't think certain crimes don't deserve it, but like, even if you fuck up one, you fucking killed an innocent person, you know? However, selling drugs, let's say it's fentanyl, but any drug, it's a two-party thing, right? Like, someone has to... No one's walking up and throwing fentanyl down people's throats.
The way I see it is, I mean, you sell a 20 bag of cocaine to an overworked bartender on a Friday night, you might as well bring a baby and a horse into a room and have the horse fuck the baby to death.
What?
It's akin to basically baby horse fuck death. That's what it is. We ain't gonna have it in my small town.
Floor and firing a weapon into the crowd.
The president today focusing on punishment, calling on Congress to toughen sentencing guidelines for fentanyl traffickers.
If we don't get tough on the drug dealers, we're wasting our time. And that toughness includes the death penalty.
Hey, fuckface, what happened to you?
Yeah.
What happened to him? You know, I know somebody right now. Her name is Melinda.
Mm-hmm.
She is right now in a jail in North Carolina facing a second-degree murder charge. Because in some states, they've already implemented these penalties. Like, if you sell somebody shit. Keep in mind, from what I know of the story, this young lady did not sell anybody fentanyl or even heroin.
Mm-hmm.
She sold somebody some painkillers, and that person OD'd on painkillers. So, tell me if that girl, now, don't get me wrong, does she deserve to probably eat shit for a little while, do some time? Yeah, you got pinched.
Yeah.
Somebody died, took some pills, you sold them, you got to go to jail. This shit is barbaric. You can give people the death penalty for selling drugs.
the death penalty.
What about the death penalty?
I don't know if we should spend a lot of energy on that. I think meaningful sentencing will help.
Also in the White House plan, reducing the flow of illicit drugs, including online sales, cutting opioid prescriptions by 1/3 within 3 years, expanding access to treatment, asking Congress to allow Medicaid to pay for residential rehab. In the crowd today, Susan Markovitz. Her son Chad started using pills in 8th grade. At 25, he died of a heroin
Because
overdose.
if there's one thing we all know as Americans, it's that once you make something illegal, that's it. It is absolutely unobtainable.
It's
No, it's not, you dumbass. Do you understand the level of gangsterdom that's going to get reined in with these stiffer penalties? Right now, if I wanted to go buy drugs, I'd go to Tampa. I know any friendly neighborhood drug dealer would sell me some drugs, easily. Clean stuff. Now, what you're going to do with this death penalty thing now is now you're going to have to go to somebody who's like an MS-13
Yeah.
fucking neck tattoo. This is going to be a very scary situation.
Yeah. Look, I am.
You'd rather buy your cocaine from a bouncer at a club. You know what I mean? It's like an easier exchange. Here you go, sir.
It's again. Listen, I'm not saying. It's a two-party thing. Like this is like perfect. This is like the polar opposite of what let's say Ron Paul or any sort of. This is more government. I would rather. Listen, I'm not even big on these fucking social programs, but I'd rather fucking spend money maybe helping these people out, trying to get them off if they want to. Than this, like, man, it's just more overreach because then they use these new laws, and yeah, sure, they're touting the death penalty thing, but obviously they can use new laws to fuck more people, to keep more people in jail longer, to turn everybody into a fucking criminal, and it's like, man, I don't, I know people that, I know enough good people that started with back pain, Seriously, how many people do you know that start with legit back pain? Their doctor gives them something, the back pain doesn't go away, they can't afford a surgery. And before you know it, the doctor stops giving them the pills, so then they go fentanyl, they go to heroin.
And I'll take it a step further. Yeah. I could introduce people to any number of legitimately nice drug dealers.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like people that you're going to be like, Jesus Christ, the death penalty? Yeah. Like, I understand if you get pinched with a bunch of ecstasy in your house and drugs, you're going to go to jail. But you're getting to a level now where you're like, well, fuck. The death penalty? Because some idiot OD'd?
Western Echo's got a good point. So death penalty for skateboarders.
Dude, I used to sell a long time ago to this dude who used to do dangerous amounts of drugs.
Yeah.
Under these new laws, and trust me, there were times where I used to think about, like, Jesus Christ, that guy's gonna. And I would even when your own drug dealer is kind of like, hey, I'm only gonna give you this much. That's not good. It's not a good thing. I would even try to limit him. But if the guy went off the walls, how do you say it's your fault he died? I give you the same clean thing every week. You have a fucking problem.
If somebody walks into fucking Walgreens and buys an industrial-sized things of Tylenol, drinks the whole bottle, and dies, are you going to arrest somebody at Walgreens? Like, that's my point.
Obesity kills more people.
Yeah.
Where's all the good health initiative? If you really cared about saving lives, you don't care about saving lives. You care about how good going after drugs looks.
Yeah.
As a check mark on your campaign flyer. That's all this is. If you really cared about saving lives, you would promote healthy diets and exercise and maybe clean living. But instead, you're like, we got to go after these opioids. They're killing hundreds of people a month. And you're like, there's 350 million people in this country. Who gives a shit? I'm sorry. I hate to sound heartless and mean, but some people, you're gonna go, man. Some people are gonna go just getting into their car and driving to work. Some people are gonna get killed. Some people are going to get killed because they forgot they took, 2 OxyContin and then they took 2 more OxyContin. Yeah. Some people are going to die because they cannot resist stopping at McDonald's every single day on the way home from work. Right. It's just, it is what it is, man. We can't sit around and fucking start putting the needles in people over this.
Mm-hmm. and ironically kill them with drugs.
Exactly.
That's what you're doing.
Just give him fentanyl.
But listen, the argument works both ways. Like again, the argument that I've even used Second Amendment, it's like, well, just because you make something illegal doesn't mean people are going to you're going to make guns illegal, people, then only criminals are going to get it. Isn't that the same with these drugs? Like, the argument works both ways. You know what I mean? Like, if you sell a gun to somebody who shoots a school and kills 17 people, should the person that sold the gun go to jail? Like, this is kind of the same thing. You know what I mean? You're doing the same thing here.
And also, do you understand what's going to happen when the government goes, we're taking your guns? The record number of insurance claims that are going to get filed as gun owners across America suddenly have boating accidents and lose all their guns.
Yeah,
Believe me, you're not getting them all. Even the most God-fearing, patriotic, law-abiding American is going to fucking bury a gun somewhere and be like, fuck you.
Yeah,
it's ingrained.
And the same thing works with addicts. If you think that if you pass all they're going to find a way to get it.
Yeah, exactly. There's no telling people what to do. There is a way. Look, Europe, I hate Europe. Europe's a shithole. We can all agree that a lot of Europe's liberal bullshit has doomed it to die a horrible death. That being said, the reason why Europe used to be so cool is because they did actually do a few minor socialist things that did work. One of those things was taking a gigantic chunk of their population that had drug problems and put them through these programs that actually helped them instead of putting them in jail or putting them in these, like, because even American rehab is shit. Like, it's just these weird halfway houses, and then they dump you off on, like, Nebraska Avenue in Tampa, and you're hanging out with other people that did meth and heroin, and they're like, hey, I thought we can get some meth and heroin around here. It's shit. It sucks. But it doesn't help. And I know many people that went to jail for minor things and came out way more, criminal-esque.
I don't know, man. It's a lot of this is remember he I don't know what this free fall is, what's going on. Trump did a lot of good things, but some of the stuff he does, you're like, what are you doing, dude? This isn't the problem.
You all right, bud?
Yeah, like remember when he ran as a non-interventionalist? Like, that's how he ran. He ran like a fucking, stay in our own country, we don't need to be over there. He's been way more hawkish than that. Which I understand. I'm that doesn't even bother me that much, but it's like, dude, this death penalty thing, stop it. First off, it's bad optics. Let's start with that. That looks bad. Secondly, man, the death penalty, even to this day, is something that a lot of people don't agree with.
I'm not even particularly a fan of the death penalty.
No.
I am a big fan of it in really, really extreme cases, but, like, we've taken it to this point where they're like, yeah, but it's a deterrent. Really? Because I think if a guy wants to rape and murder a child, he's probably going to do it.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? I don't think it's any kind of thing where you're like, but they might kill you. It's like, I'm a guy who rapes and murders kids. I don't think I'm going to stop.
Yeah.
I think that people who do sexually abuse children, and I do think that people that have certain pathologies that we can somewhat link to genetics, and maybe it could come back later in a I have no problem with certain eugenics like that, where you just go, we're killing you because you're sort of like a cancerous, growth on humanity. And, the same thing with, like, child molesters. If you molest a kid, a lot of people that molest kids were molested at some point. But not all people that get molested obviously become molesters. But that being said, it certainly fucking helps the odds. So instead of letting you spread and propagate this bullshit, I'm perfectly okay with them going, this guy, we can't let him out. Right. As soon as we let him out, he's going to move next to a park. He's got to go. I'm okay with that. But we have started to do this, like, where, like, somebody gets, like, or gets a death sentence for, like, shooting a rival gangbanger. And it's like, I get it. Gangbangers are bad and all, but it's like, unless the death penalty should be reserved for a situation where, like, a gangbanger rolls up to another gangbanger's wedding and fires into a crowd at a church and kills, like, a 6-year-old girl. Then you're like, oh boy, you're getting the needle, bud. But I mean, if a gangbanger rolls up to another gangbanger in a drug deal and pops him in his grape, is that a death penalty crime? They were both kind of there. It's a thing. So, like, I think it gets overused. And I certainly think, Royce, as Royce said, it's adding to it. Let's start giving the death penalty to everybody who doesn't pay the parking tickets.
No, I know.
Because unpaid parking tickets are one of the biggest expenses in civic governments. Like, what? No.
It's.
We're also going to be ramping up civil asset forfeiture.
Yeah.
If you have unpaid parking tickets, we will take your Lexus. What? You can't do that to people.
How about we fix our goddamn roads?
But more roads.
Yeah.
And don't hire women to do it.
Jesus, we learned that. So you talked earlier about Europe being terrible. YouTuber Count Dankula found guilty of hate crime for teaching pet pug Nazi salute. Can face jail time.
There was so much. I think most people know who Count Dankula is by now. He's a guy that made a video of his dog, and his dog doesn't even know what he's saying. He basically, anytime he has a treat, he can get his dog. I can get his dog to do the same thing that Count Dankula did, with a treat in my hand. And he was saying, oh, Sig Heil, and then the dog would stick its arm up. Hate speech crime in Scotland. He's been on trial for a while now. This whole thing's been going on.
Yeah.
He became a, he's got like Lauren Southern went out there. And I'm interviewing Count Dankula. And he became sort of a little cultural icon for people on the internet. Nobody thought that this guy was going to get found guilty. Like, everybody thought at the end of the day they were going to go, guilty today. He gets sentenced in 3 days.
Yeah, he could face 2 months.
2 months. Which is obviously, who gives a shit? You can do that standing on your head. 2 months in a Scottish prison sounds like I would do that on in my sleep. But it's the principle of the matter. A guy has now been jailed for not. This new definition of hate speech is a fucking dangerous road now.
It's
a clearly, we're not going to play it on the show. It's clearly, though, almost anybody who's anybody on the internet has seen the Count Dankula video. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
And it's adorable.
It's a joke.
And there's some idiot on Twitter. I saw Mike something or other, some London writer guy that he's completely thinks that it's justified. This is scary, man.
It's a joke. It's a fucking joke. You can't make jokes anymore. No, you really can't. Like, there's some, like, I've been watching old Simpsons. There's some jokes on The Simpsons that you couldn't do today.
No.
You know?
And that show is fucking milquetoast.
Yeah, it was for kids. There's Mel Brooks movies you could have made. I mean, Nazi jokes can still be funny, just like anything else.
You have to make fun of the Nazi.
But you can't make a Nazi joke? Like in general, you have to make fun of the Nazi.
Yeah, the Nazi has to be the butt of the joke.
Got it.
So if he had somehow, I don't know, maybe if he dressed the dog up, right, like an SS officer, and then had him do the little Sig Heil thing, and then punted him across the parking lot into a dumpster, maybe.
On the BBC, and
Big Black Cock
on the Big Black Cock channel. There was a show, I believe it was in the late 80s, early 90s, called Heil Honey, I'm Home.
BBC or BBC, which one is more likely to give you AIDS?
Probably the British one.
Oh, shit. Jimmy Savile alone.
There used to be a show on BBC called Heil Honey, I'm Home, which is basically the honeymooners, but it was Hitler and...
Didn't we watch it on the show?
Yeah, we watched a little bit of it. Or one of the shows, I don't remember. But it's just jokes, people. You're going to now spend government and state resources and to feed somebody and bed somebody for 2 months. Let's say he gets sentenced 2 months for making a joke. The dog isn't an actual Nazi. The person
that we know of.
That we know of.
Let's be journalistic here.
That we know of.
There are no reports.
It's not a German
Dog is
Shepherd.
actually- but, I'm just saying, it's 2018. They've lowered their standards.
That's right.
We have no reason to believe that the dog is a Nazi.
Correct. It's a pug, so I doubt it. And by the way, don't all pugs look like Taz when he was commentating?
Yeah, he really does. It's Taz. Also, Count Dankula, as far as he has become a bit of a darling of the alt-right and like the internet blood sports pew pew community. But he's rather milquetoast as far as his beliefs go. Like he's not this. We are not talking about a guy that they got doing some other really nasty shit, and then they just got him on this one thing. He's a relatively tame guy.
Yeah.
He's still got a blue check mark. It's not a fucking, trust me. If you got a blue check mark, you're not that bad.
It's a joke, people. It's a silly joke.
I certainly don't think he's going to do any time.
You don't think? Well, I didn't think he was going to get convicted.
Could serve up to 2 months is I don't know. I wouldn't be nervous
What do you
if
think
I
he's
was
getting a fine, probation.
Yeah, like a fine and some supervised probation. Honestly, I would do the 2 months. Like if it would depend on what they're going to give him. Like for me, I don't know if you guys know this or not, right? But I like to have a drink now and again, and I like to smoke a little weed now and again. So for me, like probation doesn't really fit my vibe. I've learned that. I'm not a big fan of probation. A buddy of mine taught me when they put you on probation, they're just trying to give you a ticket back to jail. That's all they want. So they make it hard, and they fuck with you more on probation than they would if you were in jail.
Right.
So that being said, it would depend on the length of time. If you said to me, if I had to go back in time and they said, for this situation with my DUI, if they said, all right, because I went on probation for like 7-8 months. It was almost a year. If they said, we're going to give you 2 months in jail instead, at that time, I would have taken 2 months in jail. Because I would have kept my job. I would have came back, got my job back, and I would have done the 2 months because 2 months is over.
Right.
There's nothing after that. They leave you the fuck alone.
Right.
But if you take the fines and the probation, you're talking money and 6 months, and then that's peeing in a cup every week, and you got to go to these things, and it's like after a while, you're like, just give me 2 months.
Right.
I'll eat shitty food and sleep and work out.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
Yeah, man. It's
So do it on your fuck. Remember, we always say it on the show, Count Dankula. There's only 2 days you do. Anyway, the day you go in and the day you come out. So,
no. I mean, again, this is just gonna make his star rise even higher. I mean, he's just gonna get bigger because of this.
oh man, Leaf shouldn't have fucking blown that, huh?
Yep. But it's us. We're the problem.
I don't know. I don't even. I remember being that age and thinking everybody else was the problem.
Yeah, that's a good point.
You know what I mean? I've gotten more forgiving in my old age because I'm like, I just remember being 25. I remember being a very hateable person and just being like, this person is toxic. And you'd be like, how dare you?
Right. Well, let's move to a story that actually matters.
Oh.
Holy Cross College.
This continues. The College of the Holy Cross in Massachusetts now dropping its night mascot and imagery to avoid ties to, quote, the violence of the Crusades.
Wow. The school's president saying in a statement, quote, the visual depiction of a knight in conjunction with the moniker of the Crusader inevitably ties us directly to the reality of the religious wars and the violence of the Crusades. Over the coming months, the college will gradually phase out the use of all knight-related imagery.
That is so dumb.
It is. History is history. There was a time when everybody was a conquering nation. There was a time when everyone was fucking lopping each other's heads off. That was how it was back then. That doesn't mean that the knight hasn't, knight's cool, it's a knight, Knights of the Round Table. It's a cool mascot. Do we need another fucking team named the Wildcats?
Also, this just in, they are going to be, I just got a word that Medieval Times is going to be shaking things up as well. They are going to be getting rid of the knights as well.
They're all going to be highlight players. Oh, I don't know anymore. What can you be? What are you allowed to talk about? What are you allowed to be?
Is this just another way of caving to concerns of Islamophobia? Here to weigh in is radio talk show host and editor-in-chief of Campus Reform.
Former member of Belle Biv DeVoe, obviously.
Seriously.
Jesus, dude.
Holy shit.
Poison. Yeah, man.
He's got a fucking, his head is shaped. He looks like a linebacker.
Yeah.
He looks like a big dude.
Yeah. There was points in time when every country did this, where everybody, there was wars fought. And because of that, we've gotten, certain imagery from there that we use to this day. That doesn't necessarily mean, do you think that anybody in that school, when they think of the Knights, are thinking of the Crusades? Nobody is. Nobody is. Not one person. Do you understand now, if you watch the Indiana Jones movie, that the Crusaders were like the good guys and the Holy Grail, protecting the Holy Grail? Now, if you were to make it, they would be worse than the Nazis that fucking he's fighting. It's insanity to me.
Do you people understand what the Crusades were? Like, I that's what I don't get. Like, what they were a reaction to and what was happening at the time. Yeah. It's
more than just
Christians just decided one day, they just got up and were like, I don't fucking like these Muslims.
Yeah. And every one of those fucking evangelical atheists, which I was one of two at some point, evangelical atheists always, you know how many fucking people the Christians killed during the Crusades? Yeah, we know. We got it. But they're not truck bombing people now. Do you understand the difference? Do you get that back then it was not a civilized society? All right? If your only entertainment was a guy with a fucking lute, then there probably wasn't a time when there was a lot of highbrow thinking or where decisions weren't made on terrible things. They used to think putting leeches on people cured them.
How come we never talk about, like, how come you guys won't fucking make Muslims apologize and take their mosques down because they insult and remind me of the fact that they burned down the Library of Alexandria? How about that?
No.
Fuckos.
Islamophobe, dude.
Literally, it was like the biggest, it was like the Game of Thrones library, okay, that Fatty goes to in season 6. It's like, it was literally the collection of all human knowledge. It was like an ancient AI system, and you destroyed it because you were a bunch of animals.
I was watching something on, I think it was 60 Minutes, where they had these priests that were literally going out there and trying to find in Iraq, because some Taliban people were just burning, the few Christian places there that had like scrolls that were fucking thousands of years old. And we're not talking about they did this they did this a few years ago.
Yeah,
and they're going out there trying to recover information. By the way, a lot of the books that they burned weren't all even biblical. A lot of them were just historical documents,
The fucking, how many people in this generation now don't even know about the fucking Buddhas in Afghanistan?
Yeah, there was at one point.
Afghanistan literally had one cool thing. Like back in the day, every country had one cool thing.
Yeah.
And then the Muslims took over a bunch of countries and blew up whatever made those countries cool. And in Afghanistan's case, there were these beautiful, giant, massive Buddha statues that were like fucking old as shit.
And they knocked them down.
Blew them the fuck up.
I think here we go. Here's one of them.
I remember that was part of the justification after 9/11 when America was trying to psych themselves up to go fuck up the Taliban, and we were just reading up on the Taliban people, and I'm like, they blew up those Buddhas, those motherfuckers. Like, they had these giant.
That's one of them.
That's one of them, but they also had the ones I thought that kind of stood out.
They had a bunch. I'm just
on their own. Like they had these giant, like that one's giant too, but they were carved into them like into a whole thing, dude. It was fucking amazing work. And Muslims were like, it's blasphemous, blow it up. You say what you want about Christians, but even Christians will like preserve things. You know what I mean? They'll be like, don't blow that up. There's no Christians running around burning down mosques.
To be fair, there were the popes that did knock the dicks off of all of the art statues in the Vatican. That's why they all have leaves on them. And story has it, and this isn't a joke, that somewhere in the Vatican there's just a drawer full of fucking old dicks, of stone dicks. But no, I know, and you're right, and I think destroying any history is gross. It's this. I don't know, man. It's really, really sad. And because that's something you can't ever do. And especially back then, like, you're not talking about them with the fucking machinery we have now. Making that back then is fucking insanity.
Oh, yeah. And that's what I was actually looking at, too. I mean, these fucking, dude, they were so old. It's just, there is no reason to see something like this
And
go,
be angry.
Blow it up.
Especially Buddhists. Buddhists are literally the most pacifist religion, or whatever you want to call it, religion, that you could name a religion more pacifist than Buddhist.
Look, there are certain religions that I even hate. Like, again, I don't like Islam. I don't like it. I do not like it as a whole. And you know what? If there was something like that,
yes,
that was that old,
you leave it. You have to.
And I took over a car, I'd be like, that is fucking cool, man. Don't mess with that. Like, and it could be Muhammad, and I'd be like, yeah, I know, but you can't. There has to be. You have to be absolutely inhuman to not have at least hesitation and go, are we really blowing these things up? Like, what the fuck?
Why are we doing this?
What is wrong with us?
We gotta go to break.
Yes, we do. We do have to go to break.
We have a guest.
Let's break down some of these things. Coming up in the second hour, right? Here's the background, guys. Kyle Chapman, our old pal, got kicked off PayPal. And he needs help. He needs help from everybody. He gave out his P.O. box to get snail mail help. So while we're on break, we want you guys to start thinking of ideas. We need some help thinking of some things that maybe we could send.
Yes.
'Cause we want to help our buddy
Of
out.
course.
We're not ones to kick a man when he's down.
Right.
So think of ideas, stuff we can send to Kyle Chapman. In the meantime, if you'd like to donate to this fine program, you can go to revengeofthesis.com/donate. You have any number of choices of ways to do it: Patreon, PayPal, Venmo. You could even, if you're going to do some shopping on Amazon, click on the banner.
Yes.
On any part of our website, the Amazon banner, we have a little affiliate code. We will get a few shekels if you buy stuff. Vapes.com, thank you so much. I am smoke-free and still puffing on this bad boy. And yeah, Dave Goss will be joining us in the second hour as we come up with ideas of what we can do for Based Fed Man coming up in the second hour.
Revenge of the Sis.
If you just put in the code ALEX10, and of course, that'll be 10% off from our very already low price of $250 for every 4 caps. Hey folks, this is Jay Leno, the star of the hit film Collision Course, and I'd like to take a moment out there and talk to you about the very real dangers posed by Zionism in this country.
I was riding around on my motorcycle out there in the Arizona desert when I was kidnapped by a UFO and sexually assaulted by aliens.
Show me how you suck a guy's cock. The last time I'm gonna ask you.
From all of us here at Revenge of the Sis, we'd like to thank each and every one of our friends and fans for helping us become one of the fastest growing breakout shows on the internet. In less than 1 year, we have been able to bring you news before it breaks, as well as the funniest and most consistent political and social commentary around. Here are some ways you can help us continue to grow our brand. Sign up as a contributor by going to patreon.com/We're Not Sorry and pledging a monthly amount. Anyone who pledges $12 or more is eligible for occasional giveaways and prizes. And if you pledge $25 or more, we will promote your brand or product live on our show. We understand if you are unable to commit to a monthly recurring donation, but if you would like to contribute one time, you can do so by going to paypal.me/We're Not Sorry. Another unique way to help our show expand while also promoting your own brand or service is by modeling one of our shirts. Go to teespring.com, search for Revenge of the Sis, and you'll find plenty of options to choose from. Take a picture of you modeling our shirt and email it to revengeofthesis@gmail.com. That is revengeofthecis@gmail.com.
Be sure to include a web address or a social media account for whatever you want us to promote, and we will feature you on an episode of our show. Since YouTube is now throttling our traffic and Twitter has us shadow banned, there are many other ways you can help without giving us a dime. Every time you invite a friend to like our Facebook page, retweet or share a meme from our social media accounts, or share one of our videos to your own pages, you are helping us to get discovered by more like-minded individuals who will join our ranks and help us grow. Rate us 5 stars on Facebook, Roku, and iTunes. Encourage others to follow @ROTC Media on Twitter. You can also help ROTC by supporting friends of our show, such as LA Werewolf, Connecting Right Radio, Radical Mothering, Folklore Americana, the Mad American Network, Wolfman's Activism and Entertainment, and the Revolutionary Conservative. Find all of these links and more by going to our brand new website, revengeofthesis.com.
In a world where our very way of life seems to be under attack from all sides, and our freedoms are slowly being ripped away, Guns for Tards is fighting the good fight to help protect America from its enemies by advocating Second Amendment rights for our nation's most vulnerable and often overlooked citizens, the mentally challenged. Our founding fathers believed that a well-armed, trained, and educated citizenry was the key to a free and prosperous society. But Meatloaf also said 2 out of 3 ain't bad. We believe that Tards are our second to last line of defense against ISIS, and we at Guns for Tards aim to provide the means and the programs to give proper training and resources to Tards in your area, helping to make the country a safer place. There are over 40 million mentally challenged Americans living today, and by 2020, we plan to arm at least 10% of them. We want to get as many guns in the hands of as many Tards as we can, but we won't be able to do it without your help. So please, pledge your help today. Arm a Tard. It's not that hard. Go to www.gunsfortards.com for more information, or follow us on Facebook or Twitter by searching for Guns for Tards.
Gunsfortards.com. Gunsfortards.com. Extra rounds for folks with downs, helping to protect your town. Gunsfortards.com.
What is your return policy there?
30 days, no charge.
Ooh,
All
30
right.
days. Sounds fair. My goodness, Dennis, this feels good. Feels good in my hands. Oh, good, my kids are
I
safe.
saved everyone!
Yeah, my yard's protected.
So, of course it feels good, but that only proves our point even more. We'll take 2 of these,
Yeah.
Gunther.
Great. I'll need your licenses for the background checks.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, you can drive, you can kill.
Oh, Christ, look at this.
That was fast.
You've been denied.
That's ludicrous. Why?
It says here you have an extensive history of felonious behavior.
There have been incidents, sure, yeah, a few minor indiscretions, but, I'm simply a person of interest in most of those cases, all right? And being wanted for questioning are very, very, very different things, Gunther.
And you've been institutionalized.
Me?
Yeah.
I mean, one time, for a short period of time, that was against my will. That doesn't even really count.
It's the only time it counts, Dee.
Okay, look, it was like a teeny thing that happened with a college roommate. It was really no big deal.
It says here you burned her.
I burned her, But she was so annoying. I mean, she deserved it, okay? She was wearing my stuff, and she was copying me, and...
You were copying her.
I was copying her, she was copying me. It doesn't matter.
Look, I'm sorry, but I can't sell you the guns.
Oh, well, look at you. Oh, Gunther, the morality king. Hi, I'm Gunther. I've never lit anybody on fire before. You light one bitch on fire and everybody freaks out. Oh, you son of a bitch. It was one time and one thing.
Second hour. Revenge of the Sis. Thanks for staying with us. RevengeOfTheSis.com. You can find a bunch of news articles up there. They're great. Some opinion pieces. All of them wonderful. A lot of contributors on there now. We have a guest, second hour.
We do have a guest. You folks may have heard of him before. Friend of the show. Close friend of the show. Of course, he is the founder of TrumpSingles.com. He's the founder of PoliticalPranks.com. He's the host of Connecting Right Radio. He's a outlaw alt-right 3%er who advocates violence against women, if I remember correctly.
I remember that.
And joining us live right now via satellite is, of course, Brian Caforio's best friend, ladies and gentlemen, Dave Goss.
Hey guys, thanks for having me on again.
It's funny. I'm wearing the same shirt you are.
All right.
Goat Lives,
man.
yeah, wearing the Goat Lives Matter shirt. Twinsies.
It's a great shirt.
I will say this though, my favorite one, because Dave was kind enough to provide some shirts that you can get at politicalpranks.com, and I love wearing them, but I will admit that there are certain ones for certain places.
Yeah,
like you have to decide when you're going to wear certain shirts. Like I went out one night with a friend of mine, and I'm like, we go out. I don't know. Do a lot of Mexicans hang out at this place?
Yeah.
Because I love the Trump. I love the crossing one. It's like my favorite one. And I'm like, but that's the kind of thing where, like, you can get away with the ISIS one.
Yeah.
Because there's not a lot of guys. Nobody's going to self-identify as ISIS and out themselves at a pool hall.
Right.
Like, oh, that's what. But, a Mexican guy might come up to you and go like, hey, fucker, my cousin got deported. Because then I gotta be all like, well, you didn't belong here. He was here illegally. I had to go.
Yeah, just like
and
that.
then he beats me up.
And then Mike wakes up hearing Christmas music.
Yeah. Look, I might lose a fight, but I'm not one to back down to one.
No, he
and I'm
won't.
certainly not one to stop saying things that are bothering somebody because they might inflict violence on me. Usually makes me do it more.
Well, just so we can get on to this whole. I appreciate you guys pushing the shirts and everything. That's great. I love that you guys love them. And yeah, there's some that are for certain situations, some that are not for. You're not going to go to a feminist rally wearing the Hillary Bitcoin shirt.
Right.
But who puts their address up on an Instagram post?
So we'll
blew my mind when you showed this to me.
We will we'll give the audience a quick rundown. So the other day, our friend of the show, Megatron, sends me a DM with the screenshot of Kyle Chapman on Instagram begging. Apparently, PayPal kicked him off the platform. He has no other place to go. So he said, well, I guess I'm going to rely on the old snail mail. And he proceeded to post his P.O. box where his good friends, fellow patriots and fans could mail him stuff.
Right. Because, well, we have to start at the top here. How the fuck do you lose your PayPal account?
This is the first time I've ever heard of that happen.
I've never heard of this. This is new for me.
Yeah, like Lauren Southern's kicked off a Patreon.
Yeah, I get that.
And Lauren Southern went to PayPal because PayPal does a monthly thing too. If you want to set it up, so like PayPal hasn't even kicked her off, and she's out there like, "Hey, look at these white farmers, you guys!" Like, fucking intercepting refugee boats. PayPal's pretty lax as far as I know. The only people I've known to be kicked off of PayPal are like real degenerates or fraudsters or guys that are like basically screaming about the Jews and how they all need to, get guessed or something. Those are the only people I know that are kicked, and Kyle Chapman.
Yeah, and Kyle Chapman.
But he hasn't done anything exceptionally awful except for be himself. But I mean, he hasn't done anything exceptionally awful that I feel would warrant this. So there's got to be something else going on here. There's got to be something else going on that he's been removed from PayPal, that Elon Musk thought it was bad enough to remove him from his service.
Here's my theory on this, and this is just a theory. So I'm just speculating here. But if I were a betting man, I'd say that I would certainly think that maybe old Kyle. It's not a political thing. I certainly think that he probably has a lot of money that just goes in and out of his PayPal in large amounts, in weird amounts. Like, he's probably not a fiscally responsible individual. And PayPal does have certain things that they watch for. Like, if people are sending you fucking $2,000 at a clip, and 500 here and if you're making a lot of money on PayPal and you're constantly ripping it straight out into your account, like, a lot of times they're just like, I don't know what's going on here, bud, and they'll shut it down. So I don't know what's going on. It could be any number of reasons, but idiot decides
You know what? I'm so well liked. I'm such a popular guy. People are so fond of me that I should post my P.O. box address.
Okay.
Because people will help me. I guess he wants people to send him cash or money
I
orders.
I guess.
Self-addressed stamped envelopes.
Yeah.
Well, what is he getting money for? What is the point of sending him money? I mean, you guys offer a service. You do a show. You do something that takes up a lot of time. There's a whole point in sending you guys money. I run Trump singles. I offer a service. I do political pranks. I offer a service.
Right.
So I understand why people send me money, but I'm trying to understand why anybody would send him money. What's the point?
Because he fought at the Battle of Berkeley and he's a veteran.
Because he smacked somebody over the head?
Yeah, dude, you don't get it, man. He was he's out there fighting Antifa single-handedly. He's the reason why communism hasn't won in this country. Don't you fucking get it, dude? You're out there in
I
California.
guess I'm just off base. I don't know.
The fact that you live under, in California, under the protective wing of a man like Kyle Chapman, and you're going to sit here and you're going to denounce him in such a way? Come on, bro.
I'm just questioning. I'm questioning because before I send him $5,000, I want to know what I'm getting out of it.
Well, a lot of people are going to send him money, so we should probably think of other things to send him that would be useful.
Yeah, certainly, certainly. I think there's any number of gifts.
Right.
For instance, politicalpranks.com. Again, there and right now, Dave here is offering a huge discount if you use the code ROTC. If you guys specifically want to send really nice gifts to our pal.
Okay.
Yes.
And again, they're very,
yes, we have
fun, lighthearted gifts.
Now,
and we have cards that you can send. Let him know that if you think he's a hipster, lame liberal, snowflake, stuff like that. You can send him stuff like that. And we usually have these snow globes up there also, so you can send him. We'll put a little picture in there and send it to him with so they can be amongst their little snowflake friends. We only had one left, so that's going to be my gift to him. So I made this little snowflake, or it's a hashtag based snowman. Across his face, and I'm going to send this to him just so that he has he gets something in his P.O. box.
Oh, I love that.
And it worked out also that just happened to get an order last night from somebody for Guns for Tards. So I have to actually make one of those tonight.
Yeah.
So it's really just easy for me to just make another one. And
Right.
I might make several other ones. And make sure that he knows that people donated money in his name. Because a lot of times when you're a big celebrity, like Kyle, Base Fed Man Chapman,
you don't want the money.
Yeah, it's not about the money, man. It's about doing good in your community. He says it himself. So I think that if he knows that several people donated money to Guns for Tards in his name, it'll warm his heart and also fill his P.O. box with love.
I will be making a donation to Guns for Tards in Kyle's name tonight also.
That's just it's the outpouring of love and support. And I mean, you guys in the chat room can see here clearly that other people are very interested as well in reaching out to Kyle Chapman, of course, via his P.O. box.
Which is, for anyone that wants to help Kyle in this trying time, Kyle Chapman, P.O. Box 1466, Pacifica, California, 94044.
Yeah, and that's Pacifica, California, obviously. I mean, you can just tell by the sound of it. It sounds very terrible.
Yeah.
It's like just a terrible, scary place to live.
Yeah, it sounds horrendous.
Yeah, it really sounds like he's just living a horrible life out there.
Now, is that in Compton? I don't know. I'm not from there.
Find it highly doubtful.
No, it's not. It's from the more northern part of California, if I remember correctly.
Kyle Chapman strikes me as the kind of guy who doesn't live by the ocean, but he lives by like the intercoastal waterway. Like one of those kind of guys. Yeah, no, it's on the bay side. Still nice though.
He cruises down the Delta every once in a while. I think it's more the north. He's like, because I know he lives near Berkeley, so I think it's up in that area up there. Because he had to drive to get to Berkeley in the first place. It was about a year ago when this all happened. Now, if I remember correctly, that he smacked somebody over the head with a stick and became famous.
Oh, so he's embedded with the enemy, man. That's even crazier.
Yeah, but I mean, you get it. I mean, that's the same reason why the Confederate generals, a lot of them would hang out in Richmond. You got to be where the action is, and where where the capital of information is. And obviously Kyle Chapman, being the leader of the California Patriot movement, he wants to be right there, right on the edge of enemy lines. Like essentially like the right wing, the alt-light's General Mattis.
Right. Okay, I like that. Yes.
General Mattis was known for being a guy that didn't really give a fuck. He just went right to the front line, and they'd go, "You can just hang out back here in the tents." But he's like, "No, I'm going to go down there and yell at people."
Kind of insulting to General Mattis, though, in my opinion.
Hey, listen, in my opinion, it's insulting to a great patriot like Kyle Chapman, a man who has given his entire life, the lifeblood of his country. Wait, which one is Kyle Chapman and which one's the 4-star general?
Oh, the 4-star general is Mattis.
Oh, I got it. Never mind. No, I was completely wrong.
Yeah, he got
Jesus
confused.
Christ. Wait, who are we sending stuff to? I'm sorry. Wow, I got that all mixed up. My apologies to, sorry.
Yeah.
Secretary Mattis. Sorry.
Maybe we could send him just like loose sand.
What if we send him? Can somebody send me? I remember. Oh man, I wish I still had. Like, I sent off most of my mom's belongings when she passed away to my sister. I would love to dig through them and see if my mom was one of those super cucked out American Christians that was like, "Oh look, I bought some sand from Israel."
Yeah.
What if we sent him some sand from Israel to remind him who our greatest ally is?
Oh, I like that. What if we send him
and who he's working for?
Why don't we send him a bunch of sticks?
Like the band Sticks?
Well, no, I like that too, but I meant like, base Stickman. He probably goes through a lot of sticks. We'll send him some new sticks.
Can you have sticks in jail, Mr. Goss? Comment?
No, you cannot.
What about pixie sticks?
If you bake the stick into a cake, then you can get it in.
Okay.
But
or like Roy said,
it's big cake.
pixie sticks, you'd have to go online and check on VineLink and see if they're offered in the commissary.
Or just send him a bunch of toothpicks. He can tape them together.
Oh yeah, and then he could like walk around jail doing like Razor Ramon impressions.
That would be awesome.
But again, yeah. So you guys can, of course. I don't have it in front of me, but we did have it up in the chat, the PO box for you. If you guys want to help out Kyle Chapman, of course, politicalpranks.com. You can go to gunsfortards.com, and look, he wants you guys. He needs to feel like he's got his supporters in his corner right now.
Yes.
And I'm sure he's rented a really large P.O. box because he's a man of means.
I cannot wait to see all the boomers that are going to comment on this video on YouTube, because every time we talk about Kyle Chapman, all we get is a bunch of caps lock. He's a patriot.
Kyle Chapman is a patriot. Where were you in the Battle of Berkeley? I was at work, you fucking asshole. That's where I was at. Sorry, I don't live in California.
Yeah.
I almost got in fist fight in Gainesville for the same thing. Relax, everybody's got that thing.
Yeah. Maybe walk around with a stick. You'll be okay.
Where were you? If one more person calls it the Battle of Berkeley, I am going to smash them in the face with a baseball bat.
What's the Battle of
90s
Berkeley, dude?
Sting. The Battle of Charlottesville. I'm tired of this.
It's not a battle. You're
No.
walking around holding signs. Relax. Calm down. Everybody wants to be some sort of fucking hero now. They want to be some sort of icon, and it's just they all let you down. That's what always fucking happens. Look at Chapman for a while there. He was making the rounds. He was on he was on Crowder. He was on all the shows like, this guy's the best. And then immediately it just falls apart, And I think that's what happens. People make heroes out of these people too fucking easily, It's hitting somebody with a stick. Okay, cool. You're an adult. I tell you what, debate them. Fucking do something that actually matters,
And if he was to get up and speak and talk and do some debating and do something that was a little more productive, then yeah, that's. But when you get in front of your own crowd and you just speak, you're speaking to yourself basically. You're not really getting a whole lot out there. Tonight, okay, I'm going into the fucking belly of the beast tonight. I'm going down to Hollywood to be a part of a debate. There's going to be 2 guys from the left, 2 guys from the right, or actually a girl on the left, but for 45 minutes I got to sit there and try to justify being a Republican in fucking Blueville,
right?
And so it's going to be go do something like that, go do something that's eventful and that's not just speaking and yes, it's great, rally the troops and everything like that, but do something that's going to be a little more productive. Don't go protest. You know, like I'm getting sick of these protests. It's just they don't do anything.
Well, speaking of being productive and getting the word out, we're trying to get your boy on the show, and we're having trouble because
Which one?
The only guy we haven't had yet from that district, the District 43.
Yeah.
Is it 43?
The 43rd.
Yeah, we're trying to
get Frank DiMartini.
Yeah, we wanted to get him on, and he seems like very, let's just say, very boomerish.
Yeah. Well, there was I kept getting notifications because you guys were talking back and forth or tweeting back and forth at each other. So I don't know if you guys got something figured out with all of that, but we're gonna try. We have our conservative action group has a meeting on the 20th that we're gonna be having him on also. So I'll get in touch with them and be like, hey, they've had everybody else. Why don't you go do your thing, and I'll see if I can give him a little shout out and make sure that he gets in touch with you guys with more than just Twitter and get you set up so that you guys can have him on the show also.
Yeah, we got to get that guy some. Get him social media ready.
Yeah, so he has to be ready to be on social media. He's trying to figure out how to use the Skype machine. So
he's trying to use the Skype machine, and then he's like, who is that? I could probably use the Skype when my wife's at home, but if she's at work, I can't on account of the Skype. All right, that's fine.
Okay.
We'll figure it out.
All right.
It's fine, whatever. I could do it on the telephone. I don't even know. I have no idea what this man sounds like. It's just how it sounded in my head. I could do it on the telephone.
My telephone number is Mayfair 567.
He's giving it out on Twitter and shit. But I got to be honest with you, I'm a little hard of hearing, so... Huh?
now he's really going to want to come on.
He seems like a nice enough guy who's busting his chops.
Yeah.
Well,
look,
I think
nobody
he's
is
one of those guys that could take a little ribbing, so I think you'll be okay with that.
And I think we can all agree that nobody is a bigger faggot than Omar Navarro. So at the end of the day, we all get along on that one issue. Whether it's Duterte, or whether it's DiMartini, I don't care as long as it's not Omar Navarro.
So there's a little Omar bit real quick. So I'm part of the LA GOP out here, and so we had our endorsement meeting a couple weeks ago, and Omar and Edwin and Frank were all there, and and all the candidates have to go out, and then they give a little rundown on everybody, and they go out, and the leader of the LA GOP is just like, fuck Omar. Fuck this dude. Just straight to everybody. Just telling everybody, like, Omar needs to fuck off. Apparently he's been, I've seen some shit that Omar said, but he's basically made fun of and talked shit about every single person in the LA GOP and then just shows up like they're going to endorse him. Like, that's what this dude, that's where Omar's head is at. That he can just for like 2 years talk shit about the LA GOP and then expect them to just be like, oh, all's forgiven. Yeah, we'll give you our endorsement. So he didn't even make it to the second round of voting. It was Edwin and Frank that made it to the second round, and he just stormed off and then just tweeted his ass off about how horrible everyone was and how he's going to kick the crap out of the rest of the candidates and that they don't even hold a flame to him and this and that. So it was fairly entertaining to see him try to rub elbows with people that he was just talking shit about days before.
Yeah, well, tell him to stop looking like the kid from Up, and maybe people will respect him.
Yeah, I can't. I don't know. That guy's just a knob, dude. We were on Twitter, and he just had a totally spurred out. It was funny because I was like, we had that dumb clip of us talking about lowriders and Crips rolling up, and we were like making it all jokey. And we posted the clip on Twitter, and we tagged like all these GOP people in California. And pretty much across the board, they all had a good sense of humor about it, except Omar. He's like, fuck everybody. I don't like that. I'm like, that's a way to, you're really good at politicking.
Yeah, you're really great.
It's like, even Frank DiMartini was like, yeah, we'll set it up, whatever. That's all you got to do.
Yeah.
Whatever, we'll set it up.
And we're still working on getting everything put together. You guys know I had a little bit of a medical issue last week, which I'm back from 100% good again. But we're still going to be working on getting that debate put together with Frank and Edwin, and we'll see if Omar wants to go be involved or not. But that's definitely the train's still rolling on that, and so I'm really looking forward to helping you guys out, getting that set up, and hopefully we'll make a good time of that.
Yeah, that'd be great. We would love to have that.
Need a little legitimacy up in this bitch.
Yeah. What else you working on? Anything else? I mean, I know you were just on recently, but nothing new since the last time you were on.
No, nothing new. We're slowly rolling with political pranks. It's a little bit of a slower roll than Trump Singles was, where Trump Singles we launched and a week later I'm on freaking Fox News. But it's, Trump Singles is still doing its thing. Political pranks is slowly rolling along. We're having a lot of fun with that. Actually, we're getting a lot of funny stuff that people send that they want us to put, like, okay, can you add a little card that tells my friend he's a fucking faggot? And I'm like, wow,
oh, that's great.
We're just trying to be political. Like, we're not trying to go all crazy on your friends here, but we're just having a good time. And
can you write to my ex? Can you write to my girlfriend, because technically I'm under an injunction because of domestic violence right now. So can you send her a card, but in the card write a note saying, "I love you, baby. We'll get back together. Please drop the charges."
Yeah.
Right.
Don't worry, you won't get in trouble.
And put it in the one that says that calls her a hipster and says, what's worse than being a hipster, being your liberal ass. Yeah. Put it in that card. That'll be fun.
Yeah, that's so prisoners start using it to communicate. That'd be wonderful.
You're like, wow, this company's really taking
blowing
off.
up.
Get it, man? It's like just all these guys in fucking Corcoran State Prison are just sending each other snow globes.
A lot of coded messages.
A lot of
weird.
lot of weird messages in those snow globes.
But whatevs.
I don't know. And
also, prisons is our most popular location. That's crazy.
Just find out that fucking prison violence is at record highs. I don't know what's going on. These guys are getting shanks in every day. I don't know what's going on.
Yep.
But how do you keep up with all these sites? You got like slaves working for you, elves. How does it work?
I'm a very busy human being. It's literally me that does all the business side of things. My business partner handles all the tech stuff, so I don't really worry too much about that. I do a little bit here and there. My degree is in computer science and information technology, and then I decided to go into customer service, and then I went into liberal Hollywood, which was odd. So now I get to use my degree a little bit now, but I'm more just doing business, which I never went to school for either. But that's how I keep busy is I just do that. I'm putting together. I'm doing fucking arts and crafts basically with his political pranks. I'm putting together these orders and getting them out. Become very good friends with the nice old lady over at the UPS store where we send everything out from. So it's been that's my life. My life is putting shit together and then handling all the customer service on Trump Singles when I get all the people that go on there to try to troll and then they can't actually get into the site because they don't want to pay for it, and that's the whole reason why we have to pay for it, is to make sure that you're there to be serious about it. And so then they get all pissed at me and say, oh, I said I could review my matches for free, but I can't contact anyone. Well, then pay the fucking money, you cheap ass. If you want to be a troll, it costs you money to be a troll on our site. So it's but then you're going to get kicked off immediately. So, and I'm not giving you your money back. So it's my day is dealing with assholes and people that are trying to be funny.
How's the show going?
Oh, that's going good. We're having a lot of fun with that. I just got asked to help with a debate out here based on our show, and the debate involves Brian Cafario, my best friend.
It's your bud, man. You guys just it's kismet, man. You keep popping up in each other's lives.
It really is. It's serendipity, dude.
Yeah. Well, his biggest supporter today just came out, and his biggest the guy that I don't know that holds his dick when he pees last night actually he started saying, oh, by the way, just don't forget the Republicans still want to use electroshock therapy to cure the gay. It's like, what? We got past that. Oh, we got past that a long time ago. He said, no. Pence still wants it. It's like, what are you jumping on the Pence train with what's his name now? The comedian or the
John
talk
Oliver.
show host that's obsessed with him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and I don't get this whole where they think that we're still anti-gay. I mean.
Yeah, that's not really true anymore. It's not.
Yeah, we've moved on to trans people now. Gay people are fine.
Yeah.
We welcome them. We make fun of the trans people with the gay people.
Yeah, everybody has to relax. It's just your turn on the barrel, and we'll get over it. And we'll move on. Right?
Yeah.
Remember, for a while, it was like, in New York for a while, it was Puerto Ricans, and then 9/11 happened, and then we all, the whites, blacks, Puerto Ricans, we all aligned under one banner. and we all hated Muslims for a while. It's just your time in the barrel. But no, gays are like fucking taking over in conservative circles.
Oh yeah, they really are.
Yeah, Milo, Richard Spencer, they're all over the place.
And we have quite a few gay conservatives out here in Santa Clarita, our own little town of Santa Clarita, the last red spot in LA County. But and they get pissed. They're sitting there and like they're the ones that are pointing all this out. They're like, by the way, did you see what this douchebag's saying over here? And
they're gay people that loved wine so much they had to move to where it was from.
Yeah, and so, okay, and here's the other thing. Okay, I'm just going to go off on a different little tangent right now about how much I fucking hate liberals right now. So they're still pushing this whole thing. They want to flip us blue. You know, we have Steve Knight, our congressman, who's Republican. We have Dante Costa, our assemblyman, who's Republican. We have Scott Wilk, our state senator, who's Republican. All of our, even though our city council is supposed to be nonpartisan, they're all Republicans. You know, the only place that we have some Democrats is they're sprinkled around in our school boards here and there. But so they want to sit there and they want to try to flip us. They're talking about we need to flip to 25 blue. We need to flip 25 blue. It's like, why the fuck would you want to flip 25 blue? We just came out about a few months ago. We are one of the 10th safest cities in the entire nation.
Oh wow!
It just came out a couple days ago that we are the 16th. Okay, in a state that has the lowest quality of life. We are the 16th happiest city in the entire United States.
It's like an
Why
oasis.
the fuck would you want to change anything?
It's like an oasis, basically, in the middle of just, shit.
Yeah, and it is. And, you know, there's people that everyone that's getting sick and tired of being out in like the vastness of blue that's unhappy and crap, and the whole reason why we are the worst quality of life state in the entire nation. You know, they come up here to try to get away from that, and then the DNC literally moves people up here to try to fight against it.
Yeah, and it's how far of a radius does the red extend, by the way, before you start hitting hard blue?
Oh, you go so we are about, I want to say we're about a 20 mile, we're about a 20 mile radius city ourselves. And as soon as you step out, then you're in Sylmar. And as soon as you hit Sylmar, you hit blue. And then from there, then you hit, because we technically aren't in Los Angeles. You know, okay, Los Angeles is made up of a bunch of different fucking cities.
Yeah.
And then there's actual main part LA. So Los Angeles starts 5 miles outside of us. So so as soon as you go 5 miles outside, then you're in hard blue.
Right. So it's like basically the Game of Thrones wall. You don't want to cross it.
Right. Exactly. We're Westeros or whatever. And they're all the wildlings, and they're trying to invade us.
I get it.
And they're getting.
All right.
And they're getting past our wall.
So before we get off the phone,
yes,
because we have to we have two more stories we have to get into, and they're video things, but we do have to plug it one more time. Can do you have the PO box thing in front of you?
Yes, I do. I can't get it right
We want
here.
to drive home the point right now today that our
Kyle Chapman,
very, very good friend, fellow patriot, Kyle Base Stickman Chapman, is under assault by the globalists.
So if you want to help him out, PO Box 1466. Pacifica, California, 94044. And if you use ROTC at politicalpranks.com, you get 40% off.
Yes. Did I just become a target for Kyle and his cronies?
No, not at all.
Just wear a helmet. If you wear a helmet, you're fine.
No, like I said, I'm going to shoot him some guns for darts stuff, too. So it's all going to be a whole big thing.
Yeah, don't worry. We got it.
We're all going to have a lot of fun. And I have a feeling that some of the other people I know may have made some purchases on Amazon. Of toys, certain toys that adults enjoy,
adult toys,
and maybe just gifts, man. And if he doesn't need them, he can re-gift them,
of course.
To maybe perhaps
feel
one of
free.
his tranny friends.
Yes, feel free. What else you want to plug, Dave?
Well, I think that's about it. Connecting Right Radio Show is Sunday nights. KHTS Radio. You can find us on their live stream. It's a little bit late for you guys on the East Coast, but it's 7 to 8 p.m. on the West Coast, 10 to 11 on the East Coast. Trump singles. If you need to go find someone that doesn't hate that doesn't want you to swipe right if you voted for Trump. political pranks, go there. Like I said, ROTC, get 40% off if you order something today. And also, I've allowed that to go to T-shirts also. So if you want to buy something for yourself, you're going to go buy something for Kyle. You can buy something for yourself also. We have the website set up in a way where you can put in multiple addresses, depending on what you want to send to who, whether you want to send something to yourself and to Kyle at the same time. And then if you're in the LA area, I'm going to be at the Hollywood Improv tonight. The We the People, 2 liberals versus 2 conservatives. I have to try to pretend to be funny. It's going to be very tough since I'm not drinking right now. But so just wish me the best. I'm going to try to get my my inner Mersh to come out on tonight, and we'll see if that happens.
You're going to get drunk and pass out?
You're going to get banned from the club?
Yeah. Well, work on your tight 5. I think you'll be fine.
Yeah, and don't do what Donnie Don't does.
Yeah, don't do what Donnie Don't does. Thanks for being on, dude. We love that. We love it every time you're on.
Thanks for having me on, guys. Talk to you guys soon.
Later,
man.
brother.
Dave Goss, everybody.
Dave.
Yeah, I didn't even mean to cut it short. It's just we're already almost done with the hour, and then we had to do this. Yeah, you brought up the video that I just saw earlier today, and we may not even get into it today, but I wanted to get into the Kurt Metzger thing too, but you guys can go to revengeofthesis.com and look at the article we wrote about it.
We'll get to the Kurt Metzger thing tomorrow for
yeah,
sure.
for
For
sure.
sure. But everyone in the chat was talking about LA Werewolf's latest video. It's 4 minutes, so just play it?
Sure.
Okay.
Don't call Congress. Don't do it. Who gives a fuck? You know what? No one do shit anymore. I don't want anybody to call Congress. No one be an activist. Let's just all smell our own farts and make websites for ourselves and circle jerk other platforms and just run away from YouTube. Let's just all give up like a bunch of cucks because that's what's going on right now. And we have way too many internet celebrities on the right, and I am so disgusted from real life activism and also on internet activism. Everybody just wants their own platform and wants to be a celebrity. They don't make sacrifices for the movement, and I'm done with most people in real life and on the internet, and I'll tell you why. So, last Tuesday, I went to go see Donald Trump's motorcade. It was really exciting. It was about 30 feet away from his motorcade. I saw Trump drive by. It was really cool to see. And of course, I wanted to see the Beast, but the Beast wasn't there. But that's just the way it goes, right? But what happened was a lot of right-wing people were 5 to 10 miles away, circle jerking. They drove 2 to 5 hours to go to San Diego to allegedly see Trump's motorcade, but instead they did not see it, and they just circle jerked. They saw people like Omar Navarro give a speech, and they don't really have an opinion on illegal immigration or an answer to it, but I guess networking is more important than the greater good of supporting your president. So that's the real-life issue there and the problems that I have with that. Then you go on the internet. Everybody likes to cry, oh, I'm a Trump supporter. I'm getting discriminated against. Poor me. Oh, yeah, man. Oh, yeah, I'm getting fucking banned off the internet. Oh, I got 2 strikes. Oh, man. I always have 2 strikes. Should I fucking bitch about it? Should I cry about it? Every time I have something bad in my life, should I whine? Every time I get death threats or people calling members of my family, should I cry about it? Should I make a video about it? Is that what you guys want? Just petty entertainment like I'm a fucking internet celebrity and you want to see my personal life? No, but other people are doing it on the right. Other people on the right keep crying this victim card and they don't do shit. They don't fucking do shit. And it drives me insane. All these free speech advocates, I don't care who you pick, they don't do fucking shit but care for themselves. Hi, I'm Milo Yiannopoulos. I care about free speech, but give me $10 a month so you can come behind my paywall and then you can watch me exclusively. Now, what does that do for everybody else that's getting banned on the internet, Mr. Free Speech Advocate? Doesn't do shit. And I can go on forever about everybody, and it's just disgusting. No one cares. You know, my idea was like, oh, let's call Congress. Let's have like some real life meetings and protests at some of these places. Let's do something. Because right now we're getting cucked. We're getting cucked by a little kid. We're getting cucked by a 17-year-old boy and I think a 17-year-old girl, right? We can't say their names. Can't say their names. We know who they are. Can't say their names because we're cucked by them, right? That's what's going on here. Everyone's too scared to say their fucking names and probably criticize them because it's considered harassment, and I'm just going to blur their image because you know who they are, wink, wink, but then the fucking bots are going to pick it up and probably give me a strike because even myself, I am being a cuck by giving up like this. YouTube is just cucked, period. right? And they can get 1 million kids to march. They can get kindergartners to march. They can raise $3 million. They can get celebrities, CNN, the mainstream media, everyone A to Z to help them out. And we can't even organize like 100 people at an event in real life without insider fighting because we're all just cocky internet celebrities who care more about our own platform. Me, 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 me. No one gives a fuck. So we're all just gonna die, right? That's what's going on right now. No one gives a fuck, but they care about themselves, right? So if that's what it takes, then I'll do that. Every time I get a strike, I'll make a video crying, oh, I'm getting discriminated against as a Trump supporter. If this channel gets deleted, I'll make another one saying, oh man, I got discriminated against for having right-wing views. I guess that's what it takes, right? I guess that's the new right wing, just playing the victim card and not doing shit, right? So that's what we're gonna do from now on. I don't give a fuck anymore. I guess I'm just an internet celebrity just like everybody else. No one wants to fight. No one cares. That's the way it's gonna go. Poor Trump supporter getting discriminated against.
Did you see that before the show? Or?
No, it's my first time seeing
I
it.
saw it before the show.
Yeah.
I have some... Look. L.A. Werewolf. I like L.A. Werewolf.
I love him.
In the words of the infamous A.J. Benza, calm down. One, there were other people who are active in trying to fight this. We've written articles about it. We linked to the website. I wrote an article the day that his Shall Not Censor website went up. The day it went up. Link into the website. You go to Friends of the Friends tab on our website. There's a link to the website. We've been working with Vince from the Red Elephants. Vince from the Red Elephants is doing a lot of work quietly behind the scenes. He's not out yelling about it as much because he's quietly working on some stuff. I don't know, even if we were to spend every day calling Congress. I feel like call your congressman is also sort of it's a cop out.
I get it, but he does have a point. And this is the point that I will say. The left seems to be able to do it better than the right does. They seem to be able to fucking put people together, get people on there, and mobilize an opinion. And I understand what you're saying, but if everybody just goes, it's not going to work, then of course it's not going to work. You know, it's one of those things where if you don't think it's going to work to begin with, then of course it's not going to work.
I understand, and I share L.A. Werewolf's frustration. We just said it when we had Vince on last week about how frustrating it is trying to get all these retards to work together.
Yes.
For a common cause. It's I told him when he started the website, I said, God bless you. Good luck. You got an uphill battle. Mm-hmm. We will support you in any way we can. But what are we going to do? Other than, the only way we can do this is with litigation. It's
right.
With lawyers. It's with money. It's with agents. Things we don't have. We don't have infrastructure. So what are we supposed? I just don't. I don't get the frustration. I get the frustration, but I don't get what it is that's expected of. Other than that the infighting sucks, but that's always going to be sort of one of the side effects of being in the right. We're a little more independent of thought. We're a little more up for spirited debate.
Right.
Than people on the left are. We're a little less dogmatic. But yeah, I don't know what to do. But I watched it today and I felt like I was getting yelled at. And I'm like, yeah, but what are you? I don't like getting yelled at unless a solution's being offered. Other than call your congressman, which is like, all right, you do that every day. But
and I guess the other part of it is, at least from my perspective, is the only solution that I could even see that's viable, you could call your congressman, but would be to interfere in a business. And again, for the right, there's a lot of people that are very free market guys, where it's like, well, make competition. And, with the left, it's super easy because they brush things aside, like, oh, Second Amendment, who cares? Go after guns. With the right, there's going to be a lot of people going, well, no, I'm a free market guy, and I don't believe that, and I think that's the other problem. It's that, at least in this one, and we've talked about it on the show several times, at least with this one is look, And also notice something too. We're over here in Florida too. We don't have a lot of the same, at least demonstrations. And you got, everyone out there there's a new rally every day. Out here, that's not really the case. Out here, for the most part, people are just doing their shit. There isn't that big of an issue when it comes to that. So maybe we don't feel the frustration as much as he does because he's literally in the thick of it all the time.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be hell.
It's got to be terrible.
Los Angeles, that's got to be, trust me. I back when I was way more lefty libertarian, I had offers to move out to Los Angeles, and I was just like, oh, God, no.
And to be fair, yeah, you're right. There's a lot of people that are worrying about their brand and worrying about their product. I'm not going to speak to everybody else, but I'll speak about us. I mean, listen, this is a twofold thing here, if we're being completely honest. Of course, we want to... Number one, we started this as a comedy show, and I know I recognize that. And we even apologize to our fans whenever we bitch every time we get kicked off. We'd say what happened because people want to know, hey, why the fuck weren't you here? And we try to explain it. But I think that this is also our job, and for us to be able to do all the things or, to make a movement or to have a voice, we have to be able to have a job, to have income, to be able to put forth the hours to do it, to be able to do all that. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm a guy with with car payment, a mortgage, I do in many sense think most right-wingers have to worry about ourselves, and trust me, we fight for this show all the time. And yeah, there's infighting, and we knew it was going to happen. But, we're a comedy show. That's what we are. And I'm not using that as a shield in any way. I'm not doing the old Jon Stewart, like, I'm a comedy show. I'm not a political. No, that's not true. We talk about politics too. But with that being said, it's like, they also have an entire media complex behind them on the left too that makes it way easier.
Yeah, and look, we're not going to answer every charge like it's obviously it's not directed at us.
No, of course not. But I mean, I want to
voicing our part of this.
Yeah,
which is why because I think that Royce voicing the things we're going through, it's shared across the right. Like I think everybody's going through the same shit we are.
Right.
And there is no giant infrastructure to turn to. We don't have anybody. Alex Jones doesn't give a fuck about any of us. Fucking Mark Levin and Mark Dice and Crowder and all these, they don't give a flying fuck about us. So we don't have that thing like the leftists will pick each other up for the sake of their propaganda. You know what I mean? Like a leftist will have a goddamn child rapist on their show if it'll help the gun control debate. We're a little more hung up than the left are. We're like, I'm not gonna do that. Well, fuck yourself.
Well, I mean, yeah, Dave Goss is in chat. CRTV doesn't care. No, they don't care. Of course. And listen, again, we will have anybody on. You could, we have no issues promoting issues, and we talk about it, and we even, behind the scenes, at least litigation-wise, we're trying to do something. But yeah, I mean, it's really difficult. Everybody is out for themselves. You're 100% correct. But then you're also limited in what you could do. Calling a congressman is one thing. Everyone could do that. But making everybody agree on why they're calling them, that's the problem. The problem with being a libertarian or being a right-winger is everyone's into, free market. And we've even voiced frustrations about it on this show that it's like, look, I'm a free market guy, but I'm torn as to what YouTube is doing,
Yeah, I mean, I'm a free market guy too, but if we're going to be realistic here, and you can call me a commie all you want, at the turn of the century, we had fucking 6-year-olds working in factories and getting sucked into industrial machines.
True.
And we had to, you know what I mean? At some point, somebody had to go, all right, look, okay, we'll raise it. We'll have 12-year-olds working in industrial factories. And then over time, civilized society came about. So yeah, it's something sometimes, look, the government should not be involved in a lot of things. I agree. But there are some things they should have oversight of. Freedom of speech should be one of those things. You cannot claim to be an arbiter of free speech while you're clamping down on other people.
Agreed.
And openly discriminating against people. Yeah. How many times has YouTube run a ad campaign where they're like, follow a woman creator, follow black creators this week? And it's like, all right, what about They already, we're already okay with them doing all that shit, but then now they're not even letting us on their platform. Fuck that.
Yeah. So listen, LA Werewolf, trust me, we're with you. We got our mind is in the same place you are. We're frustrated just like you are. And yeah, we do bitch. We do bitch about it, And I think the bitching comes more from a place of like all the work you do in the back end, and then you get frustrated when you get, shot down for stupidities. The shout out censor thing is still up on our site. We could call. Everybody can, but getting everybody to agree on it. Look, we're one show. We've promoted it. We always promote it, but we're one show.
Yeah, you need other people to promote
other
it
people
as much
as we do. And the problem is, we're small. We're not big. It's getting, like we said when we were on the phone, getting the Warskis, getting the people like that to actually give a fuck and promote it. And that's the problem because, like you said, everyone cares about their brand. And he's right. I mean, I hope we have Frank on again. I love when he's on.
Yeah, I'm sure
he's
pissed at us.
No, I don't think so either. I'm sure we will. No, I'm saying so we could talk more in depth about it.
Yeah, no. I'll reach out to him. We'll see if we can get him on this week or next week.
So the music today was different.
Yes, it was. You guys may have noticed. We're starting to mix in some of these other artists that we reached out to that we wanted to get you guys to notice. Ferris Melik from Finland.
The Prime Thanatos on YouTube.
That's not him.
It's not?
I think that's a guy that posts.
I got it.
Tracks by people.
So Ferris Melik.
Yeah,
is
Ferris
a gentleman.
Melik, and I tell you what, I will promise you guys, we will write it in the description of the video. I'll give you a link, and I will tweet it out too. We're following him on Twitter. You can find him there, and yeah,
it's about time to wrap up.
All right, so we'll I just transition right into shilling after that.
Well, we have to.
Yeah, RevengeOfTheSys.com, folks. Go to /donate, and you can pick any number of ways you can help our program grow and thrive. Or even if you're just going to do some Amazon shopping, remember, you can always go to our RevengeOfTheSys.com, click on the Amazon banner, and then do your shopping. That helps us out a lot as well. Rate us 5 stars on iTunes, on Facebook. Share the link. Tell people about us. And we will join you tomorrow with an all-new Revenge of the Sys.
See you guys tomorrow.